Ever feel like your childhood was less about playground games and more about epic adventures unfolding right inside your head? Like while other kids were kicking balls or building forts, you were off in a parallel universe, scripting entire stories with imaginary friends, heroic quests, or just endless what-if scenarios. If that hits home, you're not alone, and you're definitely not some escapist weirdo. You're a childhood dreamer, wired for a depth that most people can only glimpse in movies. Today, we're diving into the psychology of childhood dreamers, why your mind wandered so freely, what it says about your brain, and how that inner world isn't a flaw, it's your secret superpower. Stick around, because by the end, you'll see yourself not as the kid who zoned out, but as the visionary who was always one step ahead. Number 1, the inner world that calmed the chaos. Picture this. You're 8 years old, sitting in class, teachers droning on about fractions, but your mind, it's already hijacked the scene. Suddenly, you're a pirate captain navigating stormy seas or an astronaut discovering a hidden planet. The real world fades, and this vibrant, self-made realm takes over, complete with dialogue, plot twists, and emotional highs that feel more real than recess. For childhood dreamers, this wasn't just occasional zoning out. It was a full-time gig. And here's what nobody tells you. You're not broken or distracted. That inner world was your brain's genius way of coping with a reality that felt too overwhelming, too boring, or just too much. Think about it. Most kids play pretend in groups, but you built empires solo. Psychologists call this immersive daydreaming, often linked to high sensory processing sensitivity. It's like your nervous system was tuned to a higher frequency, picking up every whisper, every shift in energy, every unspoken tension at home or school. So, to regulate that overload, your mind hit the escape hatch. Daydreams. It's evolutionary brilliance. Your ancestors might have survived by imagining threats or opportunities before they happened. You're not lazy. You're a survival strategist in disguise. Let me paint you a mini anecdote. I remember a friend, let's call her Sarah, who as a kid would stare out the window during family dinners. Her parents thought she was rude, but in her head, she was rewriting the argument her folks just had into a fairy tale where everyone reconciled with magic. Fast forward to adulthood, and that same skill helps her navigate tough conversations at work. See? That childhood habit wasn't avoidance, it was rehearsal for real life. Number 2, the neuroscience behind your wandering mind. Okay, let's geek out on the brain stuff, because science backs this up big time. Childhood dreamers often have an overactive default mode network. That's the part of your brain that lights up when you're not focused on the outside world. It's like the director's chair in your mental theater, responsible for self-reflection, memory weaving, and daydreaming. Studies from places like Harvard show that people with vivid inner lives have stronger connections here, fueled by dopamine hits that make those fantasies as rewarding as eating chocolate or scrolling TikTok. But it's not just fluff. Mirror neurons play a role too. These are the brain cells that fire when you watch someone else do something. But for dreamers, they activate even in imagined scenarios. Ever daydream about a heartfelt conversation and feel the emotions as if it happened? That's your mirror neurons rehearsing empathy, making you a natural at understanding people without them saying a word. Pop psych ties this to traits like high openness in the Big Five personality model, or even mild forms of dissociation as a protective mechanism. Contrast that with most people. Their brains default to task mode, grinding through the day like a well-oiled machine. But yours? It's a poet's canvas, blending past, present, and possible futures. Historical context? Think of famous dreamers like Einstein, who credited his theory of relativity to childhood fantasies of riding light beams, or J.K. Rowling, whose Potter world started as train ride daydreams. You're an elite company, not scattered, but creatively wired. The neuroscience behind it. Deeper dives into dopamine and hypervigilance. Dive Diving deeper because you deserve the full picture, dopamine isn't just the feel-good chemical. For childhood dreamers, it's the fuel for your mental escapades. Research in neuroscience journals like Nature shows that low external stimulation triggers a dopamine loop in imaginative brains, rewarding internal exploration. It's why boring classes or quiet moments sent you soaring inward. And if your childhood had any chaos, maybe unpredictable parents or bullying, hypervigilance kicked in. That's your amygdala on high alert, scanning for threats. But daydreaming soothes it like a warm blanket, reducing cortisol stress hormones. Ever wonder why some dreamers report maladaptive daydreaming? It's when this gift tips into overdrive, often from trauma. Post-traumatic growth theory explains it. Your brain built those worlds as a buffer, turning pain into playgrounds. But here's the affirming truth. You're not damaged goods. This is adaptive genius, an evolutionary masterpiece that let you process emotions safely. Most extroverts charge through life head-on. You strategize from the sidelines, emerging wiser. What this looks like in real life. Everyday examples and contrasts. Fast forward to now, how does this childhood trait show up in your adult world? Let me break it down with some vivid snapshots. Picture this. You're at a party, small talk swirling like shallow waves. Most people dive in, chatting about weather or jobs. But your mind drifts to imagining backstories for everyone. That guy in the corner, he's secretly a novelist hiding his dreams. It feels isolating, sure, but it's your empathy superpower scanning the room. Or at work, deadlines loom. But instead of powering through, you zone out, envisioning the project as a grand narrative. Colleagues call it procrastination. You know it's incubation, ideas percolating like coffee brewing. Studies on creativity from psychologists like Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi show dreamers excel in flow states, turning mundane tasks into masterpieces. Contrast with society, extroverts thrive on external buzz, their brains wired for quick dopamine from social hits. Your rewards come from depth. Long novels, solo hikes, or journaling fantasies. Daily breakdowns? Mornings might start with what-if scenarios in the shower, turning commutes into story sessions. It's not distraction, it's your brain's way of innovating. Anecdote time? My buddy Alex, a childhood dreamer, hated group projects in school. Now, he's a screenwriter, channeling those inner monologues into hit scripts. What looked like aloofness was actually gold mining, the hidden superpower, turning dreams into reality. Here's where it gets exciting. Your childhood dreaming isn't a quirk, it's a hidden superpower. Psychologists link it to enhanced problem solving, as daydreaming activates the brain's executive network, forging novel connections. Ever solve a puzzle in your sleep? Same vibe. Your mind's a chess master, playing moves ahead. Metaphors abound. You're not a drifter, you're a lighthouse, beaming insights into foggy seas. While others react, you anticipate. In relationships, this translates to profound intuition, sensing a partner's unspoken needs because you've rehearsed 1,000 scenarios. Career-wise, dreamers dominate creative fields. Artists, inventors, therapists. Neuroscience nods to this. fMRI scans show imaginative brains have richer neural pathways, fostering innovation. But let's affirm, you're not too in your head. Society prizes action over reflection, but history proves dreamers change the world. Think MLK's I Have a Dream, pure visionary gold. Your gift? Turning internal worlds out, inspiring others. Nobody tells you this, but you're an evolutionary edge, not an outlier. The shadow side, acknowledging the pain of disconnection. We can't sugarcoat it. Every superpower has shadows. For childhood dreamers, the flip side is disconnection. That inner world, so soothing as a kid, can become an escape hatch in adulthood, pulling you from real connections. Rhetorical question? Ever missed a conversation because your mind wandered to a better version? It's common, tied to avoidant attachment styles from Cyclet. The pain, loneliness creeps in. Friends see you as distant. Partners feel shut out. Hypervigilance, that survival tool, might amp up anxiety, making crowds feel like sensory assaults. Maladaptive daydreaming disorder, recognized in recent DSM discussions, hits when fantasies hijack hours, stalling goals. Why? Trauma echoes. If reality hurt young you, dreams became armor. But you're not doomed. This is growth fodder. Contrast? While extroverts burn out from overstimulation, you risk understimulation, craving depth but fearing vulnerability. Anecdote? A viewer shared how her daydreams masked depression until therapy reframed them as signals to engage more. The shadow hurts, but it's not a curse. It's a call to balance. Why society gets it wrong. The myth of the lazy dreamer.
Society? It loves to label dreamers as flaky or unproductive. Schools punish zoning out. Workplaces demand constant hustle. But here's the truth bomb. That's extrovert bias. Pop Psych exposes how Western culture idolizes action-oriented types, ignoring that 30% of us are introverted or highly sensitive, per Elaine Aron's work. Historical context. In ancient times, dreamers were shamans, visionaries guiding tribes. Now, we're told to snap out of it. Contrasts sting. Extroverts get praised for networking. You get eyed for introspection. But science flips the script. Daydreaming boosts creativity, per University of California studies. You're not lazy. Society's metrics are shallow. You're a deep diver in a puddle world. The beautiful outcome. Embracing your inner visionary. So, how do you harness this? Start small. Journal those daydreams, turning them into art or plans. Mindfulness apps blend wandering with presence. Think guided imagery. Therapy, like CBT, reframes shadows into strengths, fostering post-traumatic growth where pain births wisdom. The uplift? You're wired for depth in a superficial era. Your empathy, creativity, resilience, superpowers society needs. Metaphor? You're the oak tree. Roots deep in imagination, branches reaching realities others miss. Not broken, beautifully complex. The lighthouse you didn't know you were. In the end, childhood dreamer, you're not just a wanderer. You're a beacon. Your inner world's illuminated paths through darkness, crafting a soul resilient and radiant. Embrace it. Let those dreams spill into the world, lighting up connections, creations, and change. You're an evolutionary masterpiece, a quiet revolution in a noisy age. What about you? Share in the comments. What was your favorite childhood dream, and how does it show up now? If this resonated, hit subscribe for more deep dives into the psychology that makes you uniquely you. See you there.